Hi, welcome to the Madness Collective. It is Wednesday night, 7 p.m. West Coast time. Right, I'm Crescent. My co-host is Antoine. My guest co-host tonight is Sarah is back. Hey, Sarah, welcome back.
How are y'all?
I was so confused. I'm like, I feel like I'm here.
Every time Sarah is here, I fuck that screen up.
I was like, I swear my thing's working.
We still figuring shit out. So this is the first time tuning in. We are the Madness Collective. We recap the hour's headlines because there's so many. So okay, like tonight. So I have a correction about the album of the year, Black winners, because I was saying stuff on Monday that whatever. I'm gonna have a correction about that. Drake. What was the video? Drake was just hanging out in his house doing stuff. Okay. Kanye. Stop, Antoine. Kanye dropped a video with his baby girl. I think Tyrese needs a hug. Wendy Williams documentary is coming out at the end of this month, right? Yeah. Talk about that. Target is confusing our Black leaders.
As long as there's a W.
Supreme Court, DC District Circuit Court. One of the courts in DC told Citizen Trump to kick rocks. The Chaos Clown Caucus is back at it again. They're terrible. Jennifer Crumley's the mother of Ethan Crumley. Guilty. And then, hey, shrooms. Yay, psychedelic drugs.
Yes,
okay,
yes, Queen.
All that and more on this episode of the Madness Collective. Hey, Antoine, how you doing? Hey, Sarah, how y'all doing?
Hey, welcome. Hello.
Still trash.
It has been a long day.
It's because we getting used to this. We're not, y'all know we ain't never done it this way. Like, I just can't wait for us to get into a rhythm.
It'd be nice. Yeah. People are happy to see you again, Sarah.
Oh, I'm happy to see you all. Yes, I'm like, wait, let me get my comments here. Okay. What up? What up, Dion? What up, Karen?
Okay, so let's jump in because this is about to be a little bit all over the place. Okay, so Monday night, we're talking about Grammys, and I was talking about Black artists who won Album of the Year, and I was saying Lauryn Hill was the last Black person. Not accurate.
Lies.
Lauryn Hill is the last Black woman artist to win Album of the Year. But
we got all of them.
Yeah, there you go. So right, okay. Wait. Okay, where we at?
As you read them, I'm going to go through them. They should be in order.
Don't target this. Don't target this up.
Other Black artists who won Album of the Year: 74, 75, and 77. Stevie Wonder. 1984 is Michael Jackson. In 1985, Lionel Richie for Can't Slow Down. In 1991, it was Quincy Jones for Back on the Block. 1992 was Natalie Cole.
Wait, hold up. I love Quincy Jones, but that album is terrible. It is terrible. It is. It's the good. I'll Be Good to You with Ray Charles and Shaka Khan. I like that. That's a bop, and obviously Secret Garden. But outside of that, like especially that rap song called Back on the Block with like Melly Mel and a bunch, like it's terrible. Like the rest of the songs in there are trash. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I will. Well, is Secret Garden on that album?
Yes.
Okay, I like Secret Garden.
Yeah,
you're right. That rap track was
so bad.
Okay, 1992 with Natalie Cole for Unforgettable with Love. 94 Whitney, hey, baby girl for soundtrack Bodyguard soundtrack. Then 1999 was Lauryn Hill, of course.
There we go.
Miseducation Lauryn Hill. We have never gotten it. Anyway, let me keep going. Outkast was 2004 for Speaker Box, The Love Below.
Yeah.
And then 2005 was Ray Charles, which is posthumously or whatever that's called.
Posthumously.
That's what I'm trying to say. For Genius Loves Company. And then 2008 was Herbie Hancock. I completely forgot about that.
And that's it's a Joni Mitchell tribute album. All the songs are Joni Mitchell covers. I love Watermelon Man. That's what Supercat used for Dolly My Baby. Okay. And it's also, I think, the first song Biggie has ever been on. Puffy's, we should start calling him the Notorious Puff Daddy. I think he's rapping on that track too. And Mary J. Blige is on the remix singing. Yeah, it's a hot one.
Okay. Also, where were we at? That was Herbie Hancock. And then 2022 was John Baptiste, which
we just had one, and they'll never give it to niggas, and we literally just had one.
I know.
They don't never give it to women niggas, okay? How about that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They don't like y'all.
There's some in there, but it's been a long time.
They don't like y'all.
I'm just never not gonna be pissed off that Lemonade didn't get album of the year. I'm gonna fuck what happens to the rest of my life. I'm gonna stay mad about that. Also, largely because the following year, well, not following year, but when Renaissance came out, they had the nerve to be like, yeah, she already wins enough. I'm not voting for her.
That's not how. Wait a minute. So that doesn't apply to Taylor. So she don't win album of the year enough. She's the fourth one. Look, and again, I don't have nothing against Taylor, but she ain't that goddamn nice. 4 albums of the year when it's coveted by everybody. It's like top. It's top of the food chain. Like, come on.
Yeah. So that part. And then it was Monday when we were talking about. Your record label, and that's who's helping push you. And so when it was Harry Styles and somebody else on Columbia with Beyonce, whatever. Anyway, aggravation. Moving on. Yeah. So staying with some hip hop shit. Just a little video Drake playing by himself at home in his bedroom. How you want to handle this, Antoine? How you want to handle this? Okay, wait.
Drake, the biggest rapper in the world. Drake. The nigga that got bodied by Pusha T?
That nigga.
The nigga that hiding his kid from the world, but his world wouldn't hide from the kid? Aubrey Graham in a wheelchair. Drake?
Yes!
Y'all niggas better stop playing with me in here. Y'all talking about the light-skinned nigga from DeGeneres?
From Toronto.
Yo, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me like I ain't teach Drake everything he know. Y'all ain't hear Drake on with his first song? Tell me what's really going on.
No, he didn't say from DeGeneres. It's Degrassi. Degrassi High. Well, DeGeneres is Ellen's last name.
I know.
Look, I fucked up a word like 5 minutes ago, so it is what it is.
I was trying to figure out the Ellen connection.
So I do have. I edited a photo of.
Okay, wait. So last night, when did I first catch wind of it? No, this morning. Woke up early, jumped on Twitter, X, and I was like, huh. Actually, no, that's not true. That's what Antoine did. My friend sent me the clip, and I was like, ooh, I gotta share this with Antoine and Danielle right away. And so as I was thinking it, Antoine sent us an audio message, which was hilarious. Because were you like, I couldn't sleep, and I saw Drake was trending, and
that's exactly what happened, because I was still hung over that second day. So it fucked my sleep pattern up. Yeah, y'all, literally, till we hit 1,000, I'm not touching liquor. I haven't smoked weed in a couple weeks either. It's rough over here. So I couldn't sleep, and I'm never on Twitter, and I go on Twitter, and I see Drake is twinning, and when I see that, I get scared because I think somebody died. So I click on it, and I scroll down, and this video starts playing, and I'm like, oh my God. And me having a technical background, that shit is not AI generated. That's a real video. So what I did, because I'm ignorant as fuck, when I saw it, I said, this isn't going to be here when I wake up. So I downloaded that shit immediately. And when I woke up and went on Twitter, everybody had memes like, not me trying to find the Drake video and like their keyboard is on fire because they can't find it. So later on, I sent Crescent and Danielle a voice message, and I was like, yeah, if y'all don't look good, I don't look good. I got the goods. And when I was sending that, Crescent was sending a long form video of it compared to the one I had.
It was sent to me. I ain't go looking for it.
Oh my goodness. Y'all want to see it?
Antoine was like, ooh, this is a better video.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Glow in the dark.
We're not gonna get put off YouTube, right?
No, he's about to eat a churro. Look, the meme, like people commenting on it, like one girl said, Child, I know a dick that can't get hard when I see one. It was not fully erect. It was like he was trying to get there. Would y'all agree?
This is your blurred out. This is just...
What? Oh, you mean it's very suggestive?
Yeah.
I mean, I had to let the people see what it's shaped like, girl.
Oh God.
And look, this is making it look this is giving it some liberties. I think when I did the outline, I had to make sure I covered it. So it's not as much girth there as this image implies.
It's giving lightsaber, like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not. He does not have a beer can. I want to be clear on that. Oh, he has some decent length, but the girth, he can use a little more girth. I've seen a lot of dicks, so I can speak on this. I can't believe we're fucking discussing this right now.
Wait. Danielle said it looked like he just started.
Right. So to be fair, we still don't really know what it looks like when he's, because, it's a lot of growers, not showers out there. I'm one of them. So, I think, I told my mom, I was literally talking to my mom and my sister about Drake's dick last night. And I told both of them, I said, it's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's not something you walk around bragging about either. That's what I said.
There's been a request to change the image.
And I tried to say hi to Kristen, but all you can see is the lightsaber image you have up.
I need to note Lisa's comment says, looks fake, rubbery, eek.
Look, because the other comment I saw, the first one that I gagged at was, it looked like one of them balloons they make the funny animals out of. That was one of them I heard. Y'all, 2024 is about to be lit as fuck. It's February.
It's only February.
It ain't Valentine's Day yet, and we got Drake dick pics. Megan got a #1 single. We still ain't seen Monique yet on Club Shay Shay. It's about to be crazy. Yes,
I heard that's another 3-hour one. That's another 3-hour one.
Lord, child.
So well, I don't know. That's what somebody sent me. I'm not what it will see. So CJ said, "Woo, TMC After Dark already." Drake started it. Drake did. Okay? We just reporting the news.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Lord Jesus.
Okay, wait. Now let me get myself back together. I didn't put. Okay, wait. So I'm gonna do Tyrese first, or should I go to Kanye first, or is Tyrese? Okay?
We could go to any of them. It doesn't matter. I'm a little more organized today than I normally am.
I'm not.
It's okay.
Best we can, honey.
All right. So Tyrese, where is my notes on Tyrese? I don't know where they are. Well, short thing is, he said he sometimes wishes he were Latino because they're so supportive of each other culturally and they got each other's back. And, Negroes don't do that. And what's wrong with us? And if we just work together, I'll say this. And then he doubled down on it, which of course he got clowned as he should have. But I'm just like, it's always interesting that the person, especially in our community, who wants to think they're calling some shit out, motherfucker, you can't do no self-reflection. Like, what? Like, somebody literally was like, baby, it ain't us, it's you.
What you're doing.
Like, go ahead.
Well, the one thing I think that, you know how we're always talking about, like, niggas don't never want to pick up a book and read and do research before they speak on something. I don't know what fucking solidarity he's talking about. How many Mexicans do you see marrying El Salvadorians? How many Guatemalans are walking around with Dominicans? They have rigid distinctions within Latin culture. They have colorism. They have texturism. They have the same fucking problems that we have. So I don't know what you're talking about. And look, and don't forget this. 160 million of them, guess what? They niggas too. 160 million,
by the way,
of Latinos in Latin America are Afro-Latinos. So it's a lot of overlap there. It's not even just somebody's phone got an alert going.
I was like, what the hell?
It's the weather alert. Imagine getting that shit when you drive, and I got 3 of them in one day. But it's it's interesting because I will say we don't have as many hangups when it comes to that as other cultures, because how many Chinese people do you see marrying Japanese people? How many Koreans are marrying Singaporeans? There's a lot of rigid fucking prejudices between the different distinctions within those subcultures. So I don't know what you sitting over here hoping for. Look, niggas will fuck everybody. So we happy. We will procreate with everybody.
Okay, and Sarah, I'm gonna have a question for you in 2 seconds, but I found one of the quotes that I want. That was
hysterical.
That's what he gets.
Don't ever think I don't got your back, nigga.
That was the crazy.
So quoting Tyrese, he said, "We can't get anything done and accomplished as a fragmented culture, insecure, threatened by each other, competitive towards our own race, killing ourselves every single day." Frivolously, why can't I talk? The majority of us are Black men and millions of are locked up in prison. Then he said, he did acknowledge that some of us are very powerful, influential, and successful. But then he said, imagine if we all linked, if we poured into and built up each other instead of moving like fragmented, and dysfunctional. We have what it takes to take over the world. I'm not. Okay, so Sarah, have you ever wished that you were Latina?
The whole thing is like ridiculous. Like, it's like saying Black people don't like have community when we literally have like a colloquial barbecue that exists. Like, why would there be a colloquial barbecue if it wasn't for the fact that there's Black people having barbecues all the time because we got community? Like, it's so ridiculous. I mean, it's like, learn to love yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's like Jay-Z, sensitive thugs, you all need hugs. You know, come on, Tyrese, have a hug, baby. Have a hug. You know. But the thing about Tyrese, I gotta be honest. What I always remember was like one time a long time ago, he was on one of those random MTV shows. You know, I don't know if it was Cribs or what it was, but I remember his story about going to a fancy restaurant for the first time, and they asked him if he wanted a soup or a salad, and he thought they said a soup or salad, and he thought that was like a big ass fucking salad, you know, and it was just he thought it was a super salad, like. But I'm just saying, like, he's like real special. I feel like ever since then, I always just like, in the adorbs.
No, okay. To that point, Sarah, Tony said, haven't we figured out that Tyrese needs to be on someone's couch in the prescription? That part. Hi, Ife's in the chat. Ife said Tyrese is making Capricorns look bad. I vote to remove him from the club.
Yeah, I'm a Capricorn as well. I saw who I here masquerading as the lead singer of Eurythmics. I just saw Annie Lennox pop up in the chat.
I don't know who it is, but welcome. And wait, it said second dose of TMC this week. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, here comes the rain again.
Right. Oh, and can't agree with you, Antoine. The way I've heard Puerto Ricans talk about Mexicans.
Terrible. Have y'all heard? One time somebody told me a slur that Mexicans use for people from El Salvador. I was like, that's terrible. So no, look, the ignorance, the shade, the fuckery, it extends to our Latino brothers and sisters.
And that's crazy too. Like, there's a lot of Latinos in prison and jail as well, Tyrese, by the way.
Yes.
Especially depending on the state. If you're in California, yes, it's like Black people, maybe they're overrepresented for how many like there are in the population, but there are more Latinos in prison and jails in these areas because of what's in the population. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so it's like you over here just his whole thing was so convoluted. He's all over the place. He was this way, that way, he was back and forth. Like, it really didn't make any sense. And you're just like, oh, baby, learn to love yourself, honey.
He needs to take his ass to Harlem or something. Like, I think that's what he needs. He's been in LA too long. Go to Harlem. You will feel a sense of community over there. Trust. Well, I mean, it's gentrified to a certain extent now, but you know.
But to your point, Antoine, take your ass to the South Side of Chicago. It's plenty of fucking Black places that will embrace your crazy ass.
Atlanta is the perfect place to go, you know? Yeah, so get it together, Tyrese.
Like, join a fraternity or something, Tyrese. Go to a Black church. Like,
no, Black church. Don't pledge.
I'm just saying, like, there's plenty of Black communities out there in the world. Like, you can find something.
Hey, how about this? Come on to Madness Collective. We got community.
Come on, Tyrese.
I don't know if we can handle Tyrese guest spot.
Wait, Danielle called him mariachi Tyrese, which was
yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay, where we at? Who's next? More hip hop shit. Still hip hop. Kanye. So I saw a snippet of the video this morning, and I was like, I'm good. And then Antoine texted me. He was like, we need to put Kanye on the shuffle. I was like, well, if you want to.
Yeah, just because what I did was I did add the video. We just go play maybe 10 seconds of it in the beginning because we can't play the audio, so you're just gonna see a little bit of it. But yeah, it's Northwest is rapping on the song, and I don't really get what's happening here.
You're done.
Yeah. I don't know what to say because she's a child. I'm not going, if Northwest wants to be a star, because here's the thing. It's starting to get competitive out here in these streets because Blue Ivy already got one or two Grammys. So yeah. And what's funny is looking at the two young ladies and their trajectory, most people would have assumed that Northwest would have been the one to try and break into music first because she's a lot more present on social media. That Blue Ivy is like Blue Ivy is kind of behind the scenes. You don't see her a lot unless she's with one of her parents, but Blue Ivy was dancing to Ice Spice songs with her mama, co-signing it. So yeah, it's interesting that they've waited this long to let her have a little bit of shine, musically speaking.
But North has been on social media. It's funny you mentioned Ice Spice because I think she was dancing Ice Spice, but Ice Spice might have been with North and her friends.
Ice Spice was there when she posted that video on social media. She had like an Ice Spice wig on, an Ice Spice outfit, and then Ice Spice popped her face in, so she was there with her.
Oh, no, you said Blue Ivy was dancing with Ice Spice. That's why I was
like... No, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
I was like, really? Because I didn't see that one.
No, I meant Northwest. I'm so sorry.
And I've seen the rhyme or because he's had North on stage. So I saw that whenever that happened, like a month or so ago, he had her doing this part that she's doing now. And I was like, okay. And then Ty Dolla $ign's daughter, I've never seen her before. She's gorgeous.
That's his daughter right there?
That's what it was like.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Kanye has his daughter in North, and then Ty Dolla $ign has his daughter, whose name I don't know. But so from that standpoint, I'm like, this is nice. I will say part of, I won't say concern, but what I kept getting stopped by in terms of like any, like my thinking was, okay, this is cool. I'm happy you have this bonding experience with your daughter. And yet you still parading the current wife out here naked all the time. It's like, these things are not jiving for me. And look, do you parent how you want to parent? I just, yeah. And I know she's in a completely different world, right? Like they're billionaires. Like she's literally, that child is in a whole different stratosphere in terms of her existence. But I'm also like, look, you're a parent and you out here with the current wife naked she just was out here in a raincoat.
Butt naked in a fucking see-through raincoat. I said, you better get it, bitch. You better get it. It's hard out here, girl. You gotta compete with Kim Kardashian. What is left?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. I just can't handle them getting like older because I'm like, I'm not getting older. How could they're all babies. How did they even? What are they doing on adult clothes and stuff?
Watching Blue Ivy at Grammys, I was like, but I saw her over the summer in the tour, but still, like, just because they showing pictures from the first time I think she came to Grammys with her mom, or like 2 years, whatever it was. Yeah. But yeah, anyway,
it was the dress. When Blue Ivy was in the dress, that's what threw people off. It made her look older. She had a slightly beat face, just very slightly, just very tasteful. But she looked so elegant and sophisticated. It added years to her because we normally don't see her like that.
Also, she's tall. That's the other thing too. She's tall, so there's that, and like lean. So also, just in terms of talking about Kanye, Bill Maher, who not a fan, but he did a 2-hour interview with him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna air that. He's a very charming anti-Semite." So I was like, "Okay, go ahead, Antoine."
You didn't know that before you interviewed him, nigga? Have you seen this? I listened to I pretty much, I've listened to about 5 hours of podcasts every day. And there was one, I think it was either The Daily. I believe it was The Daily. And they did a timeline of how he ended up with Adidas. They even took it back to Nike and how he ended up at Adidas. And they brought it all the way up to present time. I learned so much by listening to that because I had no idea how many incidents involved him in anti-Semitism. One time he had a meeting and just like he drew a swastika on the blackboard and had a portrait of Hitler. It was just like, it was a bunch of weird, I don't want to say weird, just terrible shit. You don't play around with that. Like that's black people don't fuck with demons and shit. Like I put that in that category. Like you don't play around with that. And then at one point he tried to humanize Hitler. He's like, he was a great man. Every human has something to contribute. And now you're sounding like Donald Trump is good people on both sides when you run people over with a car who are peacefully protesting. It's just sad to see someone. It's hard for me to try and even have an opinion because you don't know if he really feels this way or if you're experiencing someone going through severe mental deterioration. It's just, it's sad. It's sad at the end of the day. It's sad.
Go ahead, Sarah. Were you about to say something?
No, I mean, it is sad. And I mean, it's just weird though, too. Like, I don't know why Bill Maher wasted like his and everyone else's time, including his own, because it's like, what did you think was going to happen? Like you said, Antoine, there's plenty of evidence of who he is. It's like, believe who people are the first time they show you. Like, So it's like, he was basically on some like uppity white savior shit. Like, oh, I'm different from everyone else. And I'm going to have an interview and my interview is going to be different or something. Like, you did it for ratings so that you could like then go later and go to articles and say how you interviewed him for 2 hours but decided not to air it. I mean, you suck too, Yeah.
Bill's an opportunist now. I used to like Bill Maher, and it's almost like he pivoted because he knew he would get more viewers being more right of left, right of center than he typically was because Donald Trump's constituency.
A libertarian? Isn't that what he calls himself?
Yeah, he's a libertarian. He claims to be a libertarian. That's not how he moves anymore. So I don't like him. And I really think that this change happened for economic reasons. How much money do you need?
Okay, I was just about to say, it's not like this motherfucker was like broke before.
No,
like he had a show he has been doing very well for a very long time. Yeah. And to your point, that hard pivot, because I do feel like at one juncture I could tolerate watching him. Now I cannot because I just start screaming at the screen, so can't do it.
Yeah, I haven't watched him in years.
But speaking of, I think one of you guys said something about Kanye's mental state. Okay, well, Black History Month continues on. So Target mislabeled 3 civil rights icons on a learning toy at that.
They also miscolored one, and we'll talk about that after we watch the video.
So Carter G. Woodson, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Booker T. Washington. There was a teacher in Las Vegas on TikTok that was like, this is wrong. And she said the incident underlines the importance of reviewing products before making them available to consumers, which would help avoid harmful errors like this down the road. She was polite. Cause
I got the clip.
Making our heads at Target this morning. Oh, Lord. The story is going viral after somebody on TikTok pointed out some ridiculous, and I'm going to call it that, errors in one of their Black History Month items. Take a look.
I like this lady.
Like I said, these need to be pulled off the shelf. For starters, this is not Carter G. Woodson. This is W.E.B. Du Bois. Peep the stash. Peep the stash. They got the name wrong. This is not W.E.B. Du Bois. This is Booker T. Washington. Peep the little fancy bow tie.
Don't look shit alike.
The fancy little bow tie.
Boy, that's just, come on now. There are at least 3 examples of.
Okay, so can y'all see right there?
Yes.
That's Malcolm X. That is not. Can y'all color them properly? Malcolm X was not brown. Can y'all color us properly? Sorry. Get it right. Y'all got the colors wrong. Y'all got the names wrong. Y'all got every fucking thing wrong.
Yeah.
The fuck?
No. Yeah. Simple Google search.
I'm telling you, they're just like, oh, they all have W's in their name. Like, it's fine. We'll just go with that. It's like, no. I swear that I'm like, how are y'all doing this? Like, they're like, I don't know. It's
well, hey, Tony, I saw what you said, but you know the sad thing, Tony? It is possible a black person saw this and didn't catch it. Because of the fucking ignorance in our community these days. Niggas are not reading books. They not teaching their kids about black history. And y'all already know, these boots are made for walking. Don't be in Florida because niggas don't exist. You ain't found them in books no more there.
And that's what I was going to say. This whole attack on what they're saying, critical race theory, which is not that. It's black history. They're just trying to have this boogeyman as CRT, which is bullshit because that's not even anything that's taught in K through 12. Please don't get me started. Yep. Right. This attack on black history. And yes, they out here banning books with these icons in it. And so now you get shit y'all trying to sell and you ain't even got the right names attached to people. Okay, keep black history books in these motherfucking schools. Y'all are wilding. I cannot.
But it's just a perfect example of why you should buy black, especially during Black History Month, instead of going to big corporations who are just trying to make money off of black people.
True.
And pretend they care about black people for a month, but they can't even care enough to actually fact check the stuff that they're putting out for education materials for children. So what? We had the miseducation of Lauryn Hill one. Maybe we can miseducate a whole generation, making an album off of it or something. Like, what the F, you know?
Speak, woman, speak.
And to your point, Sarah, well, okay, and I don't know if this is a result of the right-wing craziness, but there's 2 Targets near me. One of them, usually at this time of the month, I walk in, there's a huge ass display that hits you right in your face as soon as you walk in. What does? And also products created by black designers, and it usually lists the names. It's like a whole beautiful, I'm like, okay, great. So y'all got our materials, our merchandise in the store. Awesome. Identifying. I ain't seen none of that. I saw this big old thing about Valentine's Day, whatever. And I was like, where did Black History Month go? Y'all let the right wingers get to y'all like that? We can't just,
I mean, because remember they had a fit with all the gay shit was in there. So I think there might be some backlash there. Like, we don't want no controversy in the motherfucking Target store.
This is West Hollywood, though. I'm like, what the fuck y'all saying?
I know, yeah, I know.
I just feel like a lot of times it's like somebody comes up with something and all of a sudden they're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize there was a market in that. I didn't realize we could make money there. And it's just, I have, one of my cousins, and she started like a company. It's called, I think it's called Midnight Reflections. And they make like black, they have a lot of stuff, but I know she has, Christmas, like, wrapping paper and different stuff like that, but it has like black Santas and all that. So she starts that, and I'm not saying she's the only one out there or anything, but it's like she starts that, and the next thing you know, a couple of years later, you got Targets like, oh, we got black wrapping paper, we got black Santa.
Oh,
like,
of course,
of
course.
Oh, they suddenly realize there's money in that, so now all of a sudden they want to care about black people, and it's just like, okay, great.
Get this stuff from a black company.
Maybe see if they can bring it in.
From a black company. So speaking of, this is my friend. It's called Baby and the Beat. Hip Hop ABCs. A is for a tribe called Quest. For friends. B is for Biggie.
Love that.
It's the Darbs. C is for Common. D is for DMX. Okay, so sorry. C is for Common. So yes, Baby and the Beat on IG. And there's a website. So go buy this. It's Black History Month. Buy this book. Okay.
I love it.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Continuing on. Where we at? What's going on? Okay. It's been one of them days. Oh yes, the election, of course. Oh. So we heard from one of the appeals court, because the judge had already said, "Motherfucker, you ain't immune." Okay, but of course, Trump's team was like, "No, we're gonna take this to another court." And this it was like a month ago, and they were having the hearings about it. And the judges at the time were like, "So you're saying you could just go ahead and shoot somebody?" Like, they literally were like, "I just want to be clear. That's what you're telling us right now, right?" So yesterday is when it came out. Basically, it's a full rejection of his claim that he's immune from criminal prosecution for any alleged crimes he committed while he was president, and it was unanimous. So just a couple quotes I want to read from the opinion. "We cannot accept that the office of the presidency places its former occupants above the law for all time thereafter. It would be a striking paradox if the president, who alone is vested with the constitutional duty to take care that the laws be faithfully fucking executed, were the sole officer capable of defying those laws with impunity. No. So he was like, yeah, also said, my dude, you can't interfere with election results and violate voting rights. You can't do that. None of that shit's okay. Also, they described Trump using his seat of power to unlawfully overstay his term as president and to displace his duly elected successor, all which violates generally applicable criminal laws. They were just laying it out. It's actually a really, really super airtight decision that was handled down. So, we'll see what happens with the Supreme Court. But Sarah,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the hypocrisy is crazy. Like, they're always pointing to the fucking Constitution, right? Let me not say the fucking Constitution. I'm sorry. My bad. But when you understand what America was founded on, the founders of America hated monarchies. They hated dictators. So, particularly looking at how polarized, because we're forced now to have to go back and see to try and determine what their intentions were with certain amendments and things of that nature in today's climate, because we have to determine how they would have applied it. But when you think of how polarized our country is right now, if the president is in power and his same party is in control of Congress, they literally could commit crimes and be in cahoots with one another, and he could pardon them, and they could choose never to impeach. You know good and goddamn well the founding fathers did not intend for that to ever happen. So I'm glad somebody had some goddamn sense finally and said no. This is crazy.
Okay, that's that.
Yeah. And I think, you already know he's gonna go try to take it to the Supreme Court now because he thinks, well, that's where my people are. And either way, he can try and drag things out longer. And it's like, of this, DC Circuit Court that, heard the case, two of the judges were Biden appointees. One of the judges was actually a George, I think it was the first Bush, HW, not just regular W, the one we all, that one. But yeah, and it's like, so there you go. You got a conservative Republican president who put that judge in. So it's not like it was some it was all Obama and Biden judges or anything like that. But you figure he'll try his luck with the Supreme Court because I'm sure, even with some decisions that haven't come out in his favor to things that would be in his favor, he still, I think, thinks he owns them since, he put most of them there. So a lot of them. So I'm sure he's going to try it,
And the one thing that the talking head pundits on MSNBC have been saying since the decision came down is the appeals court very deliberately gave him a small window of time to make a decision about what he's going to do. So basically he has a week to make this to appeal to the Supreme Court. And so the other thing is, a couple things can happen. Supreme Court could say, actually, no, we good. We don't need to wait anymore. Because they have gone through every single possible argument, anything. They combed through the Constitution. They went back to cases from 1880s. Okay. They were like, no. Y'all ain't gotta do no work. Okay. Not nan work. We got this, this is outlined for you. Right. And to your point, y'all call yourselves originalists. Okay, motherfucker, we got something to do, right?
Do it.
So they could very easily be like, no, nothing's left to be said. In which case, then the trial gets back on track, and hopefully that one definitely will happen before the election, which is the other thing too. The American people deserve that. We should have at least one of these motherfucking trials pop off before the election, right? So the other thing that could happen, I think it would take 4 of them to decide to review it, and then they could sit on it, and that would be really fucked up. So
based on their, obviously the one big one that abortion is the one that's like, damn, y'all really did that shit. But remember, they did a couple things that surprised us. So we'll see what happens. But, I wouldn't be surprised if they sit on it.
Well, two people, the ones that vacation really well. You know what I'm saying? They be on them, the big yachts and shit. I mean, balling. They're going to be just as up there balling.
Thanks for buying my mama a house.
Thanks for getting my nephew into private school and paying for it. Appreciate you. Assholes. So those two, right. Yeah, who knows? Okay. But honestly, Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Gorsuch, look, motherfucker, stand up, okay?
It's awesome.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Yeah.
The other thing I want, go ahead, Sarah.
I'm just saying they really are, they really are like roll the dice, because you don't always know what to expect from them, and there's definitely been times where they've surprised people not only with their decision by like their opinion in a court thing, but where they've just said, we're not even going to take that up. So it is possible that they might it's possible. I don't know if it'll happen because it's such a big thing that they might say the Supreme Court needs to decide this. We need to make precedent on this. We need to have a decision for the country. But then it's still like that decision might still not be in Trump's favor. I mean, they really are such a toss-up, and you don't always know who's going to be the one that surprises you.
No.
Sometimes it's different.
First of all, John Roberts, you need to get control of your motherfucking court, okay? Because this actually can't go in another direction. Because as Antoine's pointing out, and as the court pointed out very clearly, you can't have presidents talking about, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do, I'm in office and I'm good. You can't have that. That means Biden can do whatever he wants to do. Right?
Doesn't have to leave.
Right? So the appeals court gave them out. They can just be like, we're good. Like literally, you got this. Y'all ain't got to touch it. We handled all of it. So you're welcome. And just keep it pushing. So, and then tomorrow's case, the hearings start that's the Colorado. I think it's the Colorado. Yeah, the Colorado people were like, he ain't gonna be on our ballots. Fuck him, which I appreciate that. So, we'll see how that plays out starting tomorrow. But last thing I want to say is the judges also flatly rejected his claim that his criminal indictment would have a chilling effect on future administrations. Trump argues that presidents might be more hesitant to act if they were concerned about the prospect of criminal charges. How many motherfuckers facing 91 indictments? How many? Exactly. How many in our history of this country left office and got hit with 91 indictments?
Yeah, nigga, you are. Nobody else is. You are. Maybe Nixon. I mean, you too. Y'all, the fuck?
Oh, wait. Tony said if they do that, then at least we know Biden can just cancel everybody.
Oh, wow. Wait, so what if they come to a decision beforehand and say, Trump can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Then by extension, Biden can do whatever the fuck he wants to do before his presidency is over.
Yeah, we don't have checks and balances. We just have a dictatorship now. So I guess if he said, I'm not leaving because that was what Trump was going to do. And apparently the Supreme Court said we can do whatever we want. So and they're going to be like, hey, President Biden, where are you going next? What do you mean? I'm waiting for breakfast. What are you talking about? I'm not going
better. How about this? Biden could be like, Kamala's president now. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, I have my successor. I have my heir.
Right?
Princess Kamala will take over after me. She's the next in line to take the throne.
and Cal noted, is it Cal or Cal? Can somebody please help me? What?
Kale? I don't know.
I want to say Cal, like with a K, but it's a C. So, hi, welcome back. Cal. So he noted, though, that Greg Abbott defied the Supreme Court on border barbed wire. So there's that. No, absolutely. These states out here wilding out. Anyway. So continuing on. Sorry, I didn't mean to get caught up in that. Y'all know how to do with politics. More politics. So speaking of clowns.
Okay, I was thinking like the veggie, kale, like the veggie, sorry.
I was too. That's why I was
thinking. I was like, it's spelled different, but is it like kale?
So a couple things. This week has been really, really ugly for the GOP, and it has been hilarious. So a couple things have happened. They've been trying to harass this Mayorkas, the cabinet the secretary dude. And they were like, yeah, we're impeaching him. These fools got up there to hold a vote, and his motherfucking vote failed. And that's what's supposed to happen. You don't ever take a vote and you ain't got the votes. Not in that branch. That's not how that's supposed to go down. And so
I love that the Reverend Al Green stepped in and fucking showed his ass. That's what I love. I love that.
helped and happened with the Dems is one of the homies was having surgery and he was like, oh hell no, you gotta take this shit off me. I gotta get back to work. And he talked to Hakeem and he was like, yo, I'm gonna take an Uber and I'm gonna be there. Hakeem was like, bro, let us send you a car. Like just let's send you a ride. So yeah, he came in, scrubs, no shoes on.
Nobody has a photo of it. That's the thing that angered me. Nobody has a photo. I'm waiting for the photo.
That shit was so awesome. And then, so you also had 3 Republicans who did not vote with their people, which thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that. Also, they were mad. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Not Marjorie.
And a couple other ones were like, yeah, they hid one of they hid Al Green until the last minute to just play with us and make us think we had the votes.
Oh, like y'all wouldn't have done that shit. That's some gangster like hyperbolic like they got y'all asses. It's like ta-da.
Also, he said I was always trying to be present for this vote. Like he was like, that was always my intent. So, and also because there was another vote that happened right before this one that he did not participate in. Yeah. That's why they're like, oh, they was hiding him. I'm like, so this motherfucker was hiding behind a pew and just jumped up, was like, hey, here I am. Right. Like, come on. Sorry, Sarah. Are you about to say something?
No, as I say, not only would they do it, they have done it. I mean, it wasn't in their favor, but remember when what's his face? Oh my god, I can't. What's the dude's name? And he died. And he came out and he did the thumbs up. Remember, nobody knew he was gonna come, and then he flipped the whole vote. Why am I blanking on homie's name? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
From Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't
know why I'm blanking on his name right now. He's got the daughter too.
John McCain.
John McCain. Thank you. He was a Republican. He came out and surprised everybody, so they do surprise. But like, Margie, you're the last one who should be talking. Like, reading this article, I had so many crazy things go through my head because they kept talking about different ones having health problems and showing up, and I'm like, they're all coming through in like ambulances to go vote and stuff. And I'm like, Marjorie, sit down because you're gonna have like one of the Republicans, you're going to be propping them up like Weekend at Bernie's, trying to do a vote. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, they're going to have somebody in a coma in the hospital, and they're going to be like, hey, can we see 2 blinks for yes or 1 blink for no? I mean, stop it.
What they're referring to is, so yes, on the GOP side, thank you, Sarah, because I want to mention this. Hal Rogers from Kentucky had been recovering from a car accident. He showed up in a large neck brace, okay? And then another GOP rep from New York returned just in time to vote after leaving the Capitol for an emergency. So, right, exactly. So stop it. Just y'all sound super wild. Oh, and
I got
it. It is kale like the veggie. Thank you, Kale. Go ahead.
Oh,
they
great.
should get an ambulance next time and just go like a van or something and just pick up all the ones at the different hospitals and stuff. And, they could save money, maybe do like, a stretch limo for them. I don't know. It was
this is related, but it's not related. When I saw Al, first off, it's just hilarious. His fucking name is Al Green.
Because I saw Al Green trending yesterday. I was like, what happened to Al Green? And I was like,
okay. So when I saw him, I was like, is this nigga black? I was confused. So I looked his background. Because he could pass for like 3. He could pass for Samoan. He could pass for Indian. He could pass for black. So he actually is black. But then I went down the rabbit hole. I remember the first time I saw a photo of Hakeem Jeffries, I was like, this is the whitest looking black man or the blackest looking white man I've ever seen. If you tweet
Hakeem.
No, I'm going purely by what he looks like.
I know.
If you tweak his face slightly, you can either make him a light-skinned black man or a straight-up white man. So I'm going and I'm trying to figure this shit. I'm like, I had to know. I'm like, what is his ethnic background? Because he looks like he could be split down the middle. He's not. So I'm gonna tell y'all who be confusing the fuck out of us. He's Cape Verdean. So Amber Rose's people are from Cape Verde. So, and guess who else's people are from there? Left Eye from TLC. These people are so racially ambiguous. They're right off the coast of West Africa. Cape Verde was colonized by the Portuguese. And that's why, they have these types of names. Although Left Eye's last name is Lopez because her grandfather's actually Mexican. But yeah, I went to sleep I slept well that night knowing, I wasn't crazy. I was like, this motherfucker got an interesting ethnic background. I know he does. And
as soon as he opens his mouth, you're like, oh, hey, what's up, fam? Yeah. And then he's Speaker Bay, okay? Because he's going to be House Speaker. So, love me some
when I worked as a public defender in Brockton, Massachusetts, they have a really high Cape Verdean population there. So everybody there thought I was Cape Verdean.
You can pass for it. Yeah. Definitely.
My race is like, what's the highest population around that's not black? And that's what people, they're when I grew up, they'd be like, you Dominican? You know what I mean? Because a lot of Dominicans, so thought, you Dominican? Brockton, everybody thought I was Cape Verdean. Yeah. I go to Europe, they think I'm Brazilian. I'm like, you know what? They're hot. I'll take it. Whatever.
Yeah. No, when I'm in certain parts of New York, Washington Heights in particular, I'll give people just start speaking to me in Spanish. I'm like, I really wish I could understand you.
They do.
Well, and it's funny to me because I think just if you light skinned and you black, people can mold you into whatever they want you to, because at least 4 or 5 times a month, somebody gets in my car and just starts speaking Spanish to me. I think they think I'm Puerto Rican. And I'm like, I don't understand you.
Oh, yeah.
Also, for myself, when I was there, look, I had the weave in with like the red highlights. So, I was like, I see it. Okay. So still though, speaking of the clown show, the other thing that happened is the immigration, the aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, plus the most conservative border bill that they could have ever hoped the Dems would support. That shit is now also a hot ass mess. Don't know if it's gonna go through. It didn't actually today. So there was a vote of 49 to 50, and they needed 60 votes to pass. Five of the Dems voted no. Because look, this is not something Dems ordinarily be on board with at all. And then
it's everything. It's everything. The Republicans were like, it has to be attached to the Ukraine, and they gave them everything they wanted. And it's crazy because remember, the Cori Bush situation, we had the representative from Texas running his mouth. Now, the second half of the video, he starts talking about, he's like, Biden's approval rating is in the gutter. Why would we approve this aid? Why would we approve this bill and help his approval rating? And he goes, he doesn't even need our approval. Donald Trump made decisions about the border and he didn't have to get the approval of Congress. Well, y'all stay woke because these motherfuckers stay lying. You know what happened when Donald Trump pulled that shit? All that shit went to court and all of it was deemed illegal. So you can't do it. So he's saying that he's trying to say that Joe Biden can do something that he can't to absolve themselves of responsibility. Americans need to, go ahead.
Also, no, but in this vein, Donald Trump is telling them, don't sign that. Don't work with him. And it's coming from Donald Trump. And this is known. Like you said, old boy who said we ain't gonna do anything that might make Biden look good. So y'all keep taking y'all asses to the border for these photo ops and like, oh my God, the border, there's an invasion. Oh my God, it's so crazy down here. And y'all get a fucking bill with damn near everything you've ever wanted in it, as close as you ever probably gonna get. And y'all like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. Because if y'all don't have it, y'all ain't got nothing to campaign on. Y'all literally have nothing to campaign on. And so that is literally what is being said out there. And again, talking to some of these people are like, oh my God, I'm so nervous about immigration. Well, there was a bill on the table. And the people who talk about I'm nervous about immigration, some of these people live in Iowa. Some of these people live, I'm like,
exactly, not even affected by it.
Is there anyone in the room with you right now? Like, stop it.
Hey, nobody wants to go there. The other thing too. Oh, go ahead, sir.
You're like, have you ever seen 90 Day Fiance? The people come to places like Iowa and then they immediately try to relocate to Florida or California. Nobody wants to live in your states. They all think it's going to be different, and then they're like, I need to leave this place. Like, calm down.
Yeah. It's really what's so disheartening for me is just I don't like it when people don't play fair, and what they keep doing is just like Candace said, the line keeps moving. So when the nigga is the president and he's in his last year of his presidency and somebody dies on the Supreme Court, you say, well, it's too close to the election and you're going out of office. the next guy deserves to appoint that person. And it's like, is he president or not? Then when you come in, the line moves. Y'all get to make decisions all the way up to the last motherfucking day.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg her body wasn't even cold.
No.
When y'all pulled Amy Coney Barrett out of South Bend, Indiana, and put her ass and was like, okay, here's your new justice.
And was disrespectful. Remember that conservative motherfucker created a podcast called Ruthless? Do you remember that? It's evil. It's evil.
And I feel like we need a stronger word than hypocrisy. Like there needs to be a stronger word. And also, to your point, Antoine, they lie. They just lie. They just keep lying. They just keep lying. And it's funny when you try and talk to someone and try and correct the record. They're like, no. I'm like, no. What you don't want to believe and understand is that you are being lied to.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It's a lie. Like it's simply like not true.
You just have to go through what I hate is that you have to dig through so much bullshit to get to the truth, because if you listen to that representative from Texas, it's like if you it only takes a little bit. If you are partially on his side already, then when he says these untruths, you take him at his word. When he is flat out lying to you. I think the word stank kind of work instead of hypocrisy. Just stank. It's not specific enough. Let's work on it. Let's work on it.
But just exactly that though, because the details of the bill, it's not actually even worth us even getting into.
No.
I mean, literally, this is the strongest border bill that the Republicans could have ever hoped for. But when you get to their talking points, they're like, no, it's letting X number of people in, it's doing this, it's doing that. I'm like, no, it's not. No, this is your Fox News talking points. You don't actually know what's in the bill your damn self because you didn't read it. So stop it. You don't know.
They excluded a lot of their quotes. Like, I just don't want it because it helps the Dems. I don't want it because they want it.
Here's the thing. That is the one true statement coming out of their mouths. Right there. That's the one true statement that is being uttered from them. Everything else is bullshit. So.
We can't keep moving like this as a country. Like this is the type of shit where it really gets to a point where is my passport current? You know, that it's getting to that. And, you know,
also where not getting to, but where it is right now with some of these cases that might come down the pike. Hey, keep your head on a swivel because ain't no telling what some of these racist white folks gonna be out in these streets trying to attempt to do. Okay, like real talk. What's going on? Right. Yeah. So I want to know, Bev came in and was like, I got in right in time. I'm like, you need to go back to the top because we talked about Drake in a way that I think I would hope. I need you to see that. Okay, Bev, I need you to see that.
Lightsaber time.
Go back to the beginning. Give you a chance. Okay. All right. Keeping on consequences of actions. So on the second day of jury deliberations, and we talked about this on Monday, Jennifer Crumley became the first parent to be held criminally responsible for a mass shooting committed by their child. So she was convicted on all 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter for each one of the victims that was killed in November of 2021. She now faces up to 15 years in prison per count, and she remains held on bond. So, and when we were talking about it on Monday, I forgot, I didn't have all the details, but I remember the school was like, they found a note and a disturbing drawing or something, and they had talked to her like that day, and she did not come get her son from school, and she knew that they had bought that motherfucker a gun. So the way the details of this,
it was a drawing of a gun, just to be.
Thank you. Right. So I'm like, she didn't tell them that he had a gun. Like, girl, you was really completely thoroughly in the wrong here. You and your husband. So his trial's coming up next.
Is it possible?
It's not like a miscellaneous drawing that was just like it's not like, oh, he's just drawing guns like, just that you saw on the internet. It's like that's maybe a drawing of the gun that we bought him that he has back at the house. Like, it's like.
Go ahead, Antoine, you're about to say.
I feel like there's a certain lack of mental capacity with her in a way. Not that absolves her of anything, but just the way she responded to questions and I do it again. Yes. I don't know what that means.
I wouldn't do anything different.
I wouldn't change anything.
I don't know what that means. Like, because even people who a lot of times when someone does something and there is some sort of malintent involved, when their lawyer lets them know, you looking at 50, you might want to eat a little bit of humble pie, bitch.
Don't say that.
What normal person wouldn't do that to, try and get that sentence reduced? So the fact that she didn't do that, I'm like, are you all there? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I don't get it.
That's a great point. Because
that part of the article got me as well, because I'm like, even if you really think that and believe that, why in the hell would you say that while you're testifying?
Right.
Why the hell? So 4 people between the ages of 14 and 17 are dead. 4 children are dead. And you're going to say to the jury who's responsible for deciding your fate, oh, I wouldn't change a thing. Like, that's what you're supposed to say about, like, I don't know, like an engagement or something. Like, I wouldn't change a thing. You wouldn't go pick up your son. You wouldn't, other people are smart enough, whether they believe it or not, to be like, I wish we never got him that gun. I told my husband not to do it. I wish we never got him the gun.
I need a whole Angela Bassett performance.
I should have gotten him. But she's like,
I need some snot. Yeah, not the depths, not the ceiling. Oh God, not the curse, upon your head. Look, I'm sorry. So Antoine, as you were saying, maybe there's something amiss up there. Maybe she was dealing with depression, shrooms. Maybe Miles needed some shrooms.
I want to say one other thing before you go to shrooms. I feel like normally with like the legal stuff too, they always like order these cases in a certain way. So I figure they purposely tried her first because she was the harder one to prove the case against. So they do her first, because if she gets convicted, then like now daddy has to say, are you really going to go to trial, bud? Because you're the one who like really got him the gun, or according to your wife, who's now testified that we have recorded testimony of, or whatever, transcripts of her saying you were the one responsible for putting the gun away and locking the gun up in the gun safety. So they definitely tried her first.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah, because if she got convicted, what are the chances, unless you got a really different shitty jury that's so different, what are the chances if he actually takes it to trial at this point that he's not going to also be convicted and get, her sentencing's not till April, but maybe get more time than her? I'm just saying it's intentional, clearly.
Antoine, I know, because sadly we are surrounded by a lot of just stupidity. But yeah, there are people who actually do know what they're doing, right? You know what I
mean?
Yeah. To hear.
Yeah.
Sarah's like, no, this is strategy. And we're like, yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely strategy. And it's something that, for all the people who have been trying to get real, control over the like out of control gun situation in this country and all the murders at the schools and all this crazy stuff, this is like something for them to say. If you're a parent and you think it's cute to buy your kid, especially one that's not even an adult yet, a firearm, a rifle, an assault rifle, if you think that's cute, just understand there's now precedence that if they go and kill somebody, your ass might be going to prison right along with them.
And that's exactly, that was actually Chaos. That was his, his comment. He said, will this leave a legal precedent for parents to become criminally charged for leaving a gun accessible at home? So even expanding on that, Sarah, is, so not even you buying your kid a gun, although that's problem one, but you having a gun that you don't lock up, right? That you literally do make easily accessible to your children or child. Mm-hmm. Yeah, B, you might be on the hook now. So think twice. So look, if you out here dealing with some depression, hey, maybe shrooms. Maybe shrooms is for you. Okay. So right now, this came up because California could legalize psychedelic therapy after initially rejecting it. What was that, like a year or two ago?
It was recent.
But he said he wanted more structure to it, or supervision.
Yeah, because I'm an advocate. I started microdosing mushrooms years ago. I'm on a break right now, but it's really helpful. I did all this research and I found that it's helped veterans with PTSD, people with anxiety, with depression. And what's weird about this is, you know, I hope I ain't snitching on nobody, but every fucking dispensary in my neighborhood has been selling mushrooms for at least 2 years. So I don't know what's going on with the law. I don't know if it's in limbo or what, but yeah, so I don't even need to have a guy anymore. But it's so helpful, and usually what's interesting, usually because y'all, I don't know if you see, there are literally advertisements on the freeway for ketamine therapy.
I have seen that.
It's everywhere, and ketamine isn't a psychedelic in the same way that mushrooms are, but it's they put it in the same category. That's actually what Matthew Perry was in his system when he died.
Special K.
Yeah, Special K, which, you know, people always want to call it a horse tranquilizer, but usually when humans consume it, it's a different form of it. But yeah, so I'm here for it because they've been very helpful to me. Basically, you combine that with meditation and, you know, one thing I'm about to start doing, there's a float clinic near me. I don't know, have y'all ever heard of these saltwater float tanks?
Oh, yes, I have, but not like in real life. I think I've seen them on like TV or something on the movie.
Oh yeah, they're starting to pop up, and yeah, what you do is you do a little more than the microdose when you go in there, but you know you're not trying to trip balls either. But you do like a mid dose, and you go there and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, if you look at it, there are people who, one thing that it's helped a lot of people out with is alcoholism. There are people who have been lifelong alcoholics, and they do now these people have done a macro dose, where they go into therapy, they do a macro dose, and they speak about a lot of the issues, and they just work through them. It's I listened to I listened to a guy on NPR. Oh, what program was it? I'm gonna have to start writing down these podcasts I listen to so I can pass the correct information on. But there was a young man who was part of a study, and he was drinking 2 handles of alcohol every day. I was like, I don't know how your body even do that.
2 handles? What is that? What?
It was 200. Well, it was. Yeah.
The big guys. I can't even make them. Like, where's the camera? They're big.
Yeah, it's big. So he basically was saying he did 1 macro dose. I think he did 2,000 milligrams. That's a decent sized dose, and he never drank alcohol again. So yeah, but one thing I will say, when it comes to hallucinogenic drugs, people do have to be careful, because if you are predisposed to schizophrenia, it can trigger it. And so if you're not careful, you can end up in a bad place. So you have to be careful with it. But like I said, microdosing, when you microdosing, you take a very small dose, you do 3 days on, 3 days off, maybe 3 days on, 2 days off, whatever. And yeah, it's helped a lot of people tremendously. So I'm here for it.
You know, sometimes they have those like cute names for the bills and stuff when they are, you know, trying to pass new legislation. Maybe they should name it like Expanding California Sober. You know what I mean? I'll have them give me a call. We can work on this. You know, workshop it. You know.
Yeah, it's amazing. What I love about it is, these days. And y'all know, when I be driving people around for Uber, I end up having to be a fucking counselor several times a month. But I have so many people that are doing street drugs when they get in my car. Not in my car, but they'll get in the car and they'll discuss it with me. And I keep having to tell them, I'm like, man, you can't really casually do street drugs anymore, because fentanyl, they're lacing shit with fentanyl. And I tell them, I'm like, have you considered mushrooms? Because the nice thing about mushrooms is you can microdose mushrooms for your mental health, but when you want to have a good time, you can also take a dose of mushrooms. And yeah, and it pairs well. Yeah, you have options with it, and it's hard to overdo it. You know, in terms of with mushrooms, what I mean by overdo it, I mean like there's no addictive quality to mushrooms in the same way that cocaine
I keep hearing that.
It grows out of the ground. And the nice thing, because one thing I think is important, when you're thinking about your health, when you think of drugs, they're highly refined. They give the leaves from the cocaine plant to babies when they're teething to soothe their pain because it's unrefined. Once you start refining it and adding chemicals and things of that nature, when cooking it, it makes it dangerous. So mushrooms grow out of the fucking ground. You dry them and then you eat them and you have a good time, or you use it to fix a problem, just like like marijuana. So I try and turn when I'm speaking to drug addicts in my vehicle, I try and turn them on to mushrooms and marijuana. I think it's a viable option.
I think if anything, Antoine, I think one of the problems is that people like to kind of conflate and group acid with mushrooms.
They do.
Acid, you hear about people having acid flashbacks and suddenly just going in it or never coming out of it and all this stuff. And it's shrooms is, like you said, it's natural. It's from the ground. It's not on the same level, but I think because they get grouped together,
they definitely do.
People are thinking, shrooms, I'm going to end up in tripping the rest of my life. I have kids,
I did the same.
How can I do a never-ending trip?
I think she was on PCP and she jumped out the window. I remember watching that as a 10-year-old, 9-year-old. I was just like, oh God, drugs are bad.
Yeah.
I like to travel, but I don't want to go on, that kind of never-ending trip.
And I'll tell you something funny that happened. I used to connect them too, but then I started reading. Reading helps when you're interested in putting something in your fucking body. So when I finally took a large dose of them, I remember I have a Matty Klarwein print, a large Matty Klarwein print. Matty Klarwein did the cover to Miles Davis's album Bitches Brew. It's really
I was gonna say you gotta tell us who that is.
So it's surreal. It's surreal art. Almost in the same vein as Salvador Dali, but just not as out there. It's not melting clocks and shit. But I remember I was sitting in my apartment and because the thought of hallucinating kind of scares me. And I remember I was looking at the print and it has the ocean on a section of it. And I looked at the print and the ocean started moving. And I was like, is this what they was talking about? I'm like, I'm Gucci, nigga. I will continue doing this. Yes.
Oh yeah, I do remember this album cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amazing.
I love
it.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, obviously we're a little over an hour. So that.
Yeah. I will just say with shrooms, there was this period when we were little where my parents wanted to give us culture and take us to see plays and shit. And they took us one time to see that Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And I just remember me and my siblings being like, whoever wrote this was on shrooms or tripping on acid or something, because what in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat were definitely most of these things were written by people that were on something.
Speaking of things that are written by somebody on something, every now and then, I'll watch Rick and Morty. The only way that show makes sense if you are high.
It can really look. I watched. It's funny you mentioned that because when I was on probably about 4 months, I was microdosing, and then probably about once or twice a month I'd kick it up a bit. God damn, when I would watch Rick and Morty, it would make me think a couple times I went into an existential crisis because Rick and Morty is supposed to be comical, but every now and again
they go deep.
It'll be something. I'll be sitting there crying watching Rick and Morty. So yeah, be careful out there, y'all.
Okay, yeah. Speaking of, so we're wrapping up. Thank you, Sarah, for joining us again. Maybe Wednesday nights will be your night. We'll know. We're trying to figure it out. So Friday, we'll be back on Friday at 7. Danielle will be joining us because I want to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac and Atlanta, or Potomac, whatever Jason called it on Monday. Also coming up, so Abbott Elementary is back on tonight. Woo-hoo! Can't wait. Nice. Also, on Friday, we're going to talk about Usher is now the face / body of Skims. Antoine, really, what's the
men Skims? Apparently, there's multiple lines. And I also will be giving y'all some background on the Super Bowl halftime show. I just learned I just learned In Living Color is responsible.
Yes.
For I can't wait to tell y'all that tea.
I
had no idea.
Hold that thought. Also, I put the link for this in the chat, so buy it. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Tell a friend, subscribe, all those things, and we'll be back Friday.